Okay, today's projects. Next week we're going on a 2,000-mile trip with the motorhome. So I need to do one pre-flight check on it. Most of it's already done. I'll double check tire pressures. These Crossfires, if you have a dually, are outstanding. I've had these on here since 2019. They come in PSI, and they give you a quick glance alert on whether your tire is overinflated or underinflated. The window there, I guess, represents 10 PSI. So this sitting here cold is about 5 PSI overinflated. And I set them for cold pressure, and normally when I pull into the rest stops, I glance at them. They're almost always overinflated. I did have a inner tire blowout on this side about 4 years ago. The Crossfire worked perfect. It will not allow more than a 10 PSI drop on either tire before it cuts off airflow to that particular tire. The trucking industry has been using these for 20 plus years for this reason. It is also nice just to have one fill point, and you just never need to worry about the tires wearing unevenly or one tire carrying too much of a load. Equalizing pressure is what they do. So pretty much the only thing I got left to do on the engine part is when I checked oil and fluids and all that a week or so ago, I did forget to drain my 2 water separators. So for engine access, I just take the ladder off. This, if I remove the leverage bar here for the spare tire carrier, this will open up. And take this grill out. My 2 filters are right in there. I may get lazy and just crawl underneath the back and drain them that way, since I've checked out everything else. Other than that, what I'm doing today on the motorhome is just draining the potable water tank, because we will be spending a couple nights probably in rest areas or truck stops. I want to have a full tank of potable water. So something I typically do before every trip. Project 1 already started. Project 2, these 10,000 LED lights that they sell at Harbor Freight are just outstanding. I wanted to buy 4 when I put these up a couple months ago because they were on sale. I could only find 2, and everywhere else was sold out. After I installed these 2, I found out that they were bright enough that I really don't need 4 out here. As you can see, it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and those things put out a lot of light. So I did pick up 1 more. I'm going to install it right here. That will be more than enough. The wife has decided on this trip, last long trip, we towed my 2500 Cummins Ram. It weighs, with a full tank of fuel and me sitting in it, 8,340 pounds. We towed that. across the mountain, some 9% grades going up through Virginia, West Virginia. The motorhome with that ISC 8.3 liter big block Cummins does not care which one it tows. The wife doesn't like driving this, so she wants to take the girl truck on this trip. It's a 2009 Dodge Dakota TRX 4x4 with the Magnum 4.7 liter V8. She loves that truck. We bought that truck new in 2009. It only has 80,000 miles on it. With the price of new trucks, I'm glad she still loves it. So when she's back from shopping, I'm going to put that on the lift, change the oil, and rotate the tires, and it'll be ready to go. So will I finish all these today? I don't know. A friend of mine stopped by just to say hello a little while ago, and you know, that hello took about an hour. So I did put the casters on the Advantage SS-11000-WD and spun it around. As you can see on the floor, I got two paint marks. This concrete slab is not the most level, so I put it in this position and readjusted my cables after about 20 lifts. I got about 80 lift cycles on it now. In the 8 months or so that I've owned it, it does very well. I do have a walk around video on my channel that I did after I set it up. I may use today as an 8-month update review, and may not, depending on how my day goes. It is kind of nice here today, nice little breeze, and I don't have the luxury of having a real tall garage, so I keep my lift out here, and as you may have seen in the other videos, I put the casters on it, I spin it around, and it sets here in the back. And then the overhang of the motorhome, when the lift is all the way down, just backs over the runway with plenty of room to spare. With having it out here, it is covered, but it pretty much, as you can see from these two pads that I got here, pretty much when it's spun around, I have it sitting on this pad here, and on this one over here, it does take up the whole width of the motorhome. When the plates here are off the ground, they're about 3 inches, I think, in the air. So when I spin this thing around, that base plate actually goes just over this ledge on this side. So when I was looking at lifts, I was trying to decide on the 9000 WD, which the 9000 XLT, I'm sorry, from Advantage, which would have been more than enough for the vehicles I put on it. This thing, if I remember from the specs, is like 10 inches wider and maybe a foot longer than the 9000 WD. I can put my 2018 Ram on here without folding in the tow mirrors, which is great. The extra width of the runways is great. The lift is also 500 pounds heavier in shipping weight than the 9000 XLT from Advantage lifts. So there is some more metal there. The cross beams, I'm told, are beefier as well. So my OCD had me between those two lifts. And I was looking at Triumph, I was looking at Wildfire lift. Wildfire lifts are very popular among the folks on YouTube. A lot of the large YouTube channels that have over 100,000 subscribers and up to 1 million plus in the case of Bicycle Garage, they use Wildfire lifts. Wildfire lift actually sponsored them, so you know they got those lifts at little to no cost. So I was determined that I was going to have a Wildfire 9,000 pound lift like my YouTube heroes. And then I started seeing some normal everyday YouTubers who post on YouTube for fun, who aren't sponsored by Wildfire, were posting videos about failed pulley bearings. And that seemed more and more prevalent. What was also kind of disturbing is one YouTuber had several that failed. He ended up replacing all the pulleys, or the bearings in all the pulleys, for his own safety and peace of mind. I was a little discouraged that Wildfire did not really stand behind their product. As far as Advantage lifts goes, I paid full price for this. I'm not sponsored by them. I did call Mike Bartholow and I'm glad I did, because I had the lift and the pneumatic rolling bridge jack, which is excellent, in my cart on Advantage lifts. Called Mike to ask some questions and about where the pickup point was and some other things, and he was very helpful. He also gave me a discount on the lift and the jack. I can post that discount. I'll pull up the receipt and put in the comments exactly what that discount was. I purchased it 29 December of 22, and I installed it, I believe, 1st of February of this year. So I'm glad I went with the 11,000. It is big. With that being said, it was only about, if memory serves me, $700 or so more money than the 9000 XLT. I don't own a dually now, but I don't know what my future is. And most of us using these as residential lifts, right? We're never going to wear them out. We're going to purchase them one time. The other thing you get with the 11,000 WD over the 9,000 XLT and the other 9,000 pound lifts is the 220 motor. The lift time on the 220 motor is a lot faster, and I already had that power here on the RV port. So when you order this lift, it comes without a plug. So I just put a 30 amp welder plug on it, and I have it hooked up to my little welder extension cord here, and then I have a dog bone adapter that goes from the 30 amp welding plug to the 4-wire 50 amp RV receptacle. That adapter was, I don't know, $15 on Amazon. Just made sense since I already had the power here. So the other thing I'm going to do as a project today, Advantage Lifts recommends that you grease the pulley bushings annually. I'm going to do it today just because I'm using the lift, and my plan will be to do it every 6 months or so. Again, the advantage of this lift over the others is that instead of bearings in the pulleys, it uses high strength greasable bushings. So what you have here, I'll lift the lift here, but you got Zerk fittings on every corner and on every pulley underneath. So while I'm waiting on the wife to get back from shopping, I'll go ahead and raise this thing up and we'll see the underside. Okay, it's now up in the air, down on all 4 locks. Again, this is the Advantage SS-11000-WD. So, other than being dirty, everything looks fine underneath. The only rust I've seen by having it out here is a little bit here on these bolts. One day I may change those out to stainless steel, but I just, you know, every time I use the lift, I just give them a shot of PB Blaster. As you can see, these two back here I haven't done just because I forgot them, so you can kind of see they just develop a little rust flake on them. As far as the everything else, that's all fine. Again, you got your pulleys back here. They got Zerk fittings. I'm going to go ahead and grease those while I got this thing up in the air. And you have, as you can see, 2 more pulleys down here. These heavy-duty bushings have been used in farming equipment. If some of you are familiar, for years and years and years. And that's the way to go on these lifts. So I definitely appreciate that, not having to worry about those bearings. In my case, you know, those bearings may be fine for 90% of the people, that the bearings that are used in the other manufacturers' lifts. I always feel that I'm going to be in that 10% that it affects. So again, the deciding factor came right down to the bushings, with Zerk fittings that are in the pulleys. You're only going to buy this thing once, and it is your life that's dependent on those for if they fail. So the ones that failed on the other YouTube videos that I watched on the wildfire lift, you know, did not cause any injuries luckily. But again, those lifts were not very old. And not to question anyone's integrity, but if a company is going to give you a $6,000 or $7,000 lift, are you really going to publicly run the bus over that company when you have failures? I would say most people probably not. Again, I support Advantage lifts. I've talked to a couple YouTube viewers who actually 4 that actually went on to buy Advantage lifts, 11,000 pound lifts, after having conversations with me. And I wasn't selling them anything. There's nothing in it for me, but you know, the car community sticks together. So if anyone has any questions or doesn't want to go into an endless replies into the comments section, if you have any questions and you want to give me a call or set up a time to talk about my experiences with this lift, feel free to drop that down into the comments. My channel Gmail email is listed in the comments section as well. Just shoot me an email. I'll be glad to help you out. Talk about the installation process, or how I unloaded it off the trailer by myself with just an engine crane. All of that is very well detailed on the Advantage Lifts YouTube channel. There's a playlist there that has probably 17 videos in it that takes you from beginning, from picking it up to unloading it to putting the hydraulic oil in it at final assembly. So can't talk enough about the 2 individuals. I think Tony and Jay from Advantage Lifts, who I've never talked to or met, but since I had those videos memorized while I was waiting on my lift to be delivered, I feel like I've known them forever. They're guys in their 60s, right? With the average do-it-yourselfers probably. So installing this lift with 2 people and an engine crane is very durable in an afternoon. I started, it took us, me and my friend James, we had it all together with the motor hung and bolted down in one day, one afternoon. I did, as I showed in the walk around video, this ramp clip here, the holes were just slightly off, so I needed to enlarge those, elongate those holes by about 1/8 of an inch, which was no big deal with a die grinder, but I did have to stop what I was doing, go to Harbor Freight and buy a pneumatic die grinder. I think that is just about it. So when the wife gets back, I'll move on with her oil change. I may add that clip in to this video as well.